The introduction of crypto screams.
Oh man, crypto. Now let me be honest, bro. Let me be honest. I'm a comic book fan. You feel me? And we nitpick. I know I'm not alone here when I say I do not like this crypto.
Yeah, she know I'm the one I go mental. How we running this shit need a medal. Niggas been in my phone, I couldn't get you.
DC needs Superman to succeed, and so do we. This video is by Talking About. Yeah, man. This is just a fact. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm a little bit of a movie guy. You feel me? A comic book guy. You know, I have my nerdy inclinations. For those of you who know, you know. But yeah. So I know all about this movie, you feel me? This is a movie that I'm very excited for, a movie that I've been waiting for a while now. I've been following a lot of things about the movie, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm excited for it. So as a fan, because that's who I am, I'm a fan. As a fan, I know for a fact that yes, the new DC universe and DC as a whole, really, they really need this movie to succeed. This is the first movie in the new universe, the first official movie, you know what I'm saying, with the premier superhero, first superhero ever, Superman, with David Corenswet playing Superman. He replaced Henry Cavill. And I know a lot of people have a problem with that, but it is what it is, you know. I don't think the actors deserve any hate. It's not David Corenswet's fault that they decided to replace Henry Cavill. I think Henry Cavill was a great Superman. He was a perfect Superman. But David Corenswet gets the job done as well. I cannot lie. So I'm excited for the movie personally. I'm excited. James Gunn is the director, and he's also now the head of DC. To be honest, it looks like they've been cooking up. I'm not gonna lie. Based off what I've seen, you know, there were some times where I was worried. Some things going on with the suit. Just small stuff, you know, that did make me to worry a little bit. But I think overall everything looks like it's come together pretty well. And yeah, I think this will be a great movie. So let's see what's up. See what they're talking about.
We need to talk about Superman. But first, take a look at this clip and tell me what you see.
Yeah, good. Okay, good work.
How is Superman to work with?
That's Superman, man. Being able to have that much fun with kids, that's Superman. And that was a behind the scenes footage of David Corenswet on set with the kids in the movie and stuff like that. So yeah, him being with those kids and stuff just shows, you know, how he is Superman for real in real life. And I think that is important for the character. I think that's very important, and he showed it.
Yeah, good. Okay, good work.
How is Superman to work with?
He's fun.
Nice work, everybody. High fives.
Pause. Did you catch it? Let me explain. Back in November 2022, director James Gunn, known for his previous work putting together teams of unknown misfits, was tasked to reboot and produce the new DC universe. Hell of a task, I know. So he decided to start strong with the most popular hero of all time, Superman. The plan is simple. Kinda. DC will start all over again with new characters, a new story, and a new future. But the two questions in everyone's mind are, how is he going to do this? And what if he f***s up? Don't worry, I'll tell you all about it. Going back to the clip I just showed you, we can see a Superman that is caring, nice, and most importantly, human. Now, let's check this other scene from Batman v Superman. See the difference? This is Zack Snyder's Superman. His plan was to show the audience a version of the character that was slightly more focused on the super than the man. This isn't much of a human as it is a god. Especially on his appearances past Man of Steel. as most of us here, I really enjoyed watching Superman turn half of Metropolis into a pile of concrete while fighting Zod, and then dealing with his decision. It doesn't really matter, dude. It's a superhero movie. It's supposed to be cool, and it was, so shut up. To that I say, hell yes. But if you need to build an entire universe, you're gonna need a lot more than cool action scenes and a couple of Marthas saving the day.
Why did you say that?
Enter James Gunn, who has decided to go for a rather different approach, focusing more on the human aspect of
Yeah, and I think ultimately we would have gotten there. I think that's the thing that people don't really talk about. I think with Zack Snyder's Superman, I think we would have gotten to a more human, down-to-earth version of Superman had the movies been allowed to flesh out the characters more. But I think people forget that we really, I mean, not that we, I was about to say that we really only had 2 movies. 2 movies is plenty of time to showcase the character. But I think Man of Steel did a good job modernizing the character of Superman. The next time we saw him was in Batman v Superman, and I think that's where the mistake was made. And a lot of people have said this before. That's where the mistake was made. It was Superman was put into positions to where he was such a force of nature that he wasn't able to relate to human beings and stuff like that in that movie specifically, and so that's why he was at odds with Batman in that movie. So they focused heavily, like you said, on the super part of Superman in Batman v Superman or whatever, and I think that's why we have, we envisioned Henry Cavill Superman as a darker Superman because he was. However, I do believe that had Snyder gotten more time to really focus on Clark Kent himself, we would have seen a more humanized version of Henry Cavill's Superman. And because even in Justice League, we didn't get him that much. We only got him in the final act, So yeah, so I think because he was starting off the universe and stuff, and it was just a lot of things shoehorned into the universe as a whole. So not enough time could have been taken to not enough time was taken to flesh out any character, really. Like any character. Like there was no character that was really fleshed out as much as they should have been. Batman didn't get his own movie. Flash was just terrible. But I don't necessarily think it was the actor's performance. It was questionable, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. But I think it was more so the writing and stuff like that. But it was a lot like, look at movies like Shazam. Shazam, that was a good movie. You know what I'm saying? The character of Billy Batson and Shazam was really fleshed out. So I think had they been given more time, yes, we would have gotten a more humanized version of Superman. But yeah, ultimately their priorities were different though at the time. Ultimately,
the character, the struggles he has to go through, and his journey as the world's most powerful being. He needs to be able to tell a story that both connects with the audience and makes us feel like the universe he's creating is worth our love and appreciation. Everything from the saturated colors, the comic accurate suits, and the introduction of Crypto,
bro, the suit looks so good right there.
From the saturated colors, the comic accurate...
Bro, this is a behind the scenes shot. Look how good the suit looks right here. Bro, that looks awesome. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When we first saw this suit, there was a lot of backlash, and rightfully so. I'm not gonna lie, the suit looked trash when I first saw it. I'm just being straight up. It was trash. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what happened. The suit was able to grow on me. And this is what we got now. You know what I'm saying? The suit was trash when we first saw it, but this is what we got now. And I think it looks great. I think it looks pretty good. We've come a long way. Like it was, I don't know if it's the color, but this is a behind the scenes shot, and it looks very good in this shot. So I don't know what they did to it, but the suit has definitely grown on me. I mean, even the trunks are working. I like the belt, the separation of the blue, like everything just it looks good. It looks very good. The colors, oh my gosh, this is the Superman that I grew up on with these colors. Henry Cavill's suit was amazing as well. It was a different type of suit, but it was amazing. However, the colors were muted. You know, the colors were muted. Had he been given his suit could have looked exactly the same with more vibrant colors. That would have been Superman. But there was also a darker blue version of Superman. And I'm not gonna lie, I do prefer a lighter blue Superman color. I'm just being honest. But at the end of the day, Superman is Superman. I like all his variations for the most part. But I do prefer the lighter blue color when it comes to Superman. But yeah, this suit looks amazing. David Holt, I believe that's what his name is. He looks great as Lex Luthor. I like how he's really gonna grow into like this is a young Lex Luthor, you can tell. And I'm just excited to see how he grows as Lex Luthor. Like Lex Luthor, I'm pretty sure that Lex Luthor is going to be the Loki of the DCU. He's going to be the Loki of the DCU. I can totally see it. He's the way he's going to grow into this character. Like already from the little that I've seen of him, he looks like he's really embodied the character of Lex Luthor. I like, the casting is great. I like his bald head. Pause. But I like the fact that he's bald. You know what I'm saying? Lex Luthor should be bald. I like the fact that he's bald. He looks great as playing a younger Lex Luthor. And when I say younger, like, this is a Lex Luthor that's just starting his rivalry with Superman for the most part. I think it has been going on for a little bit, but it hasn't been long. So yeah, this is a younger Lex Luthor, and I just can't wait to see him grow into this character more, because I can totally see it. Yeah, I could totally see it. I think this was great casting. That's one thing for this movie. The casting is pretty great. So I'm excited.
It suits, and the introduction of Crypto screams.
Oh man, Crypto. Now let me be honest, bro. Let me be honest. I'm a comic book fan. You feel me? And we nitpick. Like it or hate it, you feel me? That's what we do. We nitpick. I know I'm not alone here when I say I do not like this Crypto. And when I say I don't like it,
The saturated colors, the comic accurate suits, and the introduction of Crypto.
when I say I don't like this Crypto, I don't mean I hate it. I don't hate it. It's not the worst thing in the world. But I would have preferred the more traditional breed that we get Crypto in. I'm just being honest. I would have preferred we gotten Crypto how he used to look. You feel me? I understand that Crypto has resembled this breed of dog. I'm not too familiar with the breed, the name. I understand that he has resembled this breed of dog before in the comics. However, I would have preferred that they went with the more iconic version of Crypto. I would have preferred that. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I would have preferred that. I had to speak the truth. I don't hate this. I don't hate this. I just would have preferred the more iconic version. It is what it is.
Though screams family, something Gunn knows a lot about. Not to say it's a family
But I do
movie,
love the characterization of Crypto.
but it does have a clear aim for the brighter and sensitive side of the Superman story we're all familiar with. The S stands for hope. DC needs a dub, a big one, and most fans know this. For the last, 8 years, the DCEU has been on a bit of a downfall. With some good spikes and some terrible lows. Superman needs to change that. As fans, all we can really do right now is hope for this movie to actually give us something new and worth watching, without senseless jokes, disconnected stories, and unnecessary moments that lead to absolutely nowhere. Back in the Snyder days, with Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, and even the highly criticized Batman v Superman, rightfully so, we felt like everything was leading somewhere. Maybe a little too fast and a little too forced, but
Yeah,
there
it was
was
just rushed. It was just rushed. The casting in the Snyderverse was good as well for the most part. Say what you want about Gal Gadot, she was a good Wonder Woman. Say what you want about it. Jason Momoa, he was a good Aquaman. It was a different version of Aquaman, but we have gotten a version of Aquaman like that in the comics before. It reminded me of the Aquaman that we got in the Justice League animated series. Cyborg looks very good. Ezra Miller's Flash, that probably was the worst casting choice. I don't think that's crazy to say. But Ezra Miller's Flash, his portrayal of Barry Allen, I think that was the weakest casting in this lineup for sure. For sure. But other than that, we got great castings. I mean, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, great. You know what I'm saying? That was great casting right there. I'm not gonna lie. I even liked Jared Leto's performance as the Joker. I did. The Snyderverse had good casting. Ooh, Will Smith as Deadshot. That's underrated. Whoa, bro. Will Smith, I loved his portrayal as Deadshot. But yeah, so I think the casting was good. The casting was not the problem with these movies. It was just rushed. You could tell it was rushed. They were doing the most to catch up to the MCU. It was rushed. And ultimately, that was their downfall. Ultimately.
something there to follow. And we need that feeling back for yesterday. As time went on, it all unfortunately started to crumble due to delayed projects and movie sequels nobody asked for. Just like I talked in my Thunderbolts video, releasing TV shows and movies that don't lead anywhere and are just made for a quick buck make people stop caring for the characters. Which is why at this point, the only solution was to reboot the entire universe and hope for the best. At the end of the day, people still care about the DC franchise, since it has some of the most iconic superheroes in the entire planet. They just need to figure out how to write them well. Something I strongly believe that James Gunn and his team can deliver on. So then, why Gunn? As I said earlier, James has directed 2 movies, where the plot revolved around a group of characters nobody cared about before he showed us the potential they had. Thanks to him is that I stand before the fact that every character has the potential to be great. It only needs good writing. This is the reason why the Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, and even
The Thunderbolts!
worked. So what about Superman? Everyone knows who he is. What do you need James Gunn for? Easy. New ones. How do you tell a story everyone already knows about? Simple. You don't. Skip the origin story and get right into showing us, not telling us, why should we care and even feel sorry for a being who cannot be harmed. The writers need to find a way to balance the strong, impenetrable, and godlike being that is Superman, with a nice, weak, and human side of Clark Kent. Neither Guardians of the Galaxy or the Suicide Squad.
I will say though, I agree with everything he said so far. However, I hope that this does not come at the cost of Superman's just being portrayed in a strong light. He is Superman at the end of the day. He needs to be powerful. And if I'm being honest, I have not seen his strength portrayed as I would like it to have been in anything so far. Now that could just be because we've gotten a limited view of his power set as of this moment. That could be why, and I assume that is the reason why. You know what I'm saying? They're focusing more so on the character of Superman and Clark Kent instead of his powers, and at least in the trailers, and that is completely fine. That's completely fine. I just hope that we do see him being powerful. I hope we do, and I believe we will. I believe we will. Superman is all about powerful. It's not the only thing he's about, but it's a major part of his character. He is Superman, so he needs to be strong. It's it's a non-negotiable for me. It's a non-negotiable. So, but I do like from what it looks like to me. It looks like they're going to humble this Superman, which I'm here for. I like for my characters to be pushed and tested. That's perfectly okay as long as he gets his moment to shine. That's fine. So I think it will happen. I'm not too worried about it, but I just had to put that out there.
Squad had a character with powers even close to Superman, and they were still interesting. Gunn will be perfect then. He'll show us the powerless side of Clark Kent without Batman having to ask him if he bleeds or not.
Do you bleed?
Yeah, that was a crazy.
Making people care. Bleeding isn't the only way to show someone's hurt. In the last trailer, we saw how Superman, despite helping others and doing his very
That
best
was
to protect
great.
the citizens of Metropolis, is getting tons of criticism and hatred. Just watch the clip.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might. It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions.
My actions? I stopped a war.
In effect, you illegally entered a country. Did you consult with the president? You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States
representing
will cause
anybody
more
except for me.
problems around the world.
And doing good. People were going to die.
Wait, why wouldn't he let them die then? Because he cares.
Yeah.
And you like it or not, this makes him weak.
That's Superman.
But not in a bad way. This movie is for sure going to show us a Superman that is very misunderstood, who tries to be good, but struggles to, who isn't adored like a god, but rather looked down upon the very people he fights to protect every day. But giving him human-like morals does help a lot with bringing him down to a level where we as an audience can understand and connect with him. So sure, we might not flinch if he gets thrown across 20 buildings, because we know he's gonna get back up. But we might just feel sorry for him when Metropolis turns against him. And we will also feel like we won when the world finally sees that the man who saved the day is the purest and most human soul of all. You might be wondering by this point, what about the other guys? Well, it's not entirely clear to me what purpose they'll serve in the movie apart from helping Superman. But however Gunn and his team handle them, he needs to make sure that they're not as forgettable as most of the characters in Black Adam. Out of all these, I mostly remember Dr. Fate because of how cool he was. And I seriously hope they do justice to characters like Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, or Guy Gardner, who I'm not stoked to see, but I do like me some Green Lantern. Since the last time we saw one in action was... Oh, by the way, what if it flops? Well, we'd have kind of a problem in our hands. Just ask yourself, what if Iron Man failed back in 2008? Would they still have made the other movies? Or would they have dropped their plans and started over again? Or not even start at all? It's hard to say. But at least we can be sure that DC Studios would be in a bit of a pickle.
Pickle Rick!
Because they have a lot of plans for the future that might have to suffer changes if Superman doesn't take off as expected. Pun totally intended. But let's hope for the best, shall we? Let's all just take a look at the weird S in this handsome man's chest and hope that him and Gunn deliver a Superman movie
The suit
that
is
embraces
looking-
this classic
Bro,
idea.
Did they change the suit? It was not looking that good before, bruh. It was not
And
looking
hope that
this
him
good.
and Gunn... Let's all just take a look at the weird S in this handsome man's chest and hope that him and Gunn...
Bro, the suit was not looking this good before. What happened? They made some changes for sure. They made some changes because this suit is just sexy. Oh my gosh, that's crazy, bro. It was not looking this good before. I don't know what they did.
Gunn deliver a Superman movie that embraces this classic idea of the most influential superhero to ever exist. With underwear and everything. Please subscribe.
Yeah, that was a great video. Shout out to Talking About. He knows what he's talking about. I don't know if that was funny. Nah, but yeah, shout out to bro. That was a great video. I think he touched on pretty much everything. Yeah, with the characters, the Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, those characters. I am excited to see what they will do for them. I hope they don't overshadow Superman, because that's another thing about this movie. It's not much longer than 2 hours long, so And that's kind of disappointing for me. I wanted to get as much content as possible for my viewing experience, but you know, it is what it is. But I hope those characters don't take they don't take a lot away from Superman himself. But while still also being, you know, not forgettable, like he said, I still want them to be relatively important to the plot of the movie and stuff. I do feel like it kind of is a lot going on, like maybe a little bit too many characters that we're dealing with here, but I'm gonna trust that it's gonna work. Guy Gardner's Superman, I mean Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. I'm interested to see him. I think that's what most people are interested in. Him and Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific looks great, by the way. It's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot with this movie. A lot of concerns that we could have. You know what I'm saying? But I think overall it will be successful. I'm calling it right now. The Superman movie is making $1 billion. It's making $1 billion. I don't care. I know everyone wants to be safe and say, "Oh yeah, it's probably gonna make around 700 mil, 600 to 700, whatever, yada yada yada." Nah, it's making $1 billion, bro. This is Superman. Let's be honest. This movie is gonna cook. It's gonna make over $1 billion, as long as it's good. I don't know why I played. But yeah, but as long as it's good, it's going to make over $1 billion. You feel me? And that would be great. Superman, I hope it smashes Fantastic Four out the water. Bro, I was about to rage real quick. Fantastic Four, I hope Fantastic Four flops. You feel me? But I think Superman will do amazing. I think Superman will do amazing. So I'm excited to see it. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this video. Shout out to Talking About It, for making this video. I really enjoyed it. If you guys want me to do more content like this, I'm definitely down for it. So just let me know in the comments. Feel free to tell me whatever you want me to react to in the comments. And yeah, man, I'm excited for this movie. You guys make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn on your post notifications, all that good stuff. And yeah, man, it's your boy signing out. I'll see y'all later.